This story, found in Pages Unbound, To Find My Father, written by Brandon McAleavey, based on the real-life murder family, the Bloody Benders. It was August of 1871 when I set out to find my father. He'd left our home in Missouri a month prior, bound for the Kansas frontier to stake a homestead claim. He was to send word once he secured land, then we, our little family, we'd go join him. But no letter ever came. By the fourth week, dread crept in. Bandits plagued the trails. Wild animals roamed unchecked. And illness, injury, hell, even worse. No shortage of fates might have befallen a lone man out there. I followed his trail through towns and trading posts. Folks remembered him, a friendly man, traveling light, asking directions to Cherryvale. And it was in Cherryvale that the trail went cold. Desperation led me to a strange flyer pinned outside a general store. Miss Kelly Becker, seer of the beyond, revelations from the departed. All questions answered. Now, it sounded like snake oil, sure, but when you got no leads and the days are running out, even ghosts seem worth asking. Now, Miss Becker met me at the edge of town and invited me to her home just beyond an orchard. She was striking indeed, dark-haired, self-assured, and unnervingly calm. I mentioned I was seeking my missing father and nothing more. She welcomed me like an old friend.
Come in, sir. Sit there at the head of the table.
She moved about the cabin, gathering candles and trinkets and putting them in a wicker basket. I assumed they were items that facilitate her mystic abilities.
Just near the curtain divider. It's reserved for our most honored guests.
The divider was dirt-smeared and stained and may well have been a former wagon cover.
Just beyond that is our modest living quarters, but this is where we entertain visitors and travelers in need of a hot meal and rest for their weary feet. Now then, you say you're searching for your father?
That's correct. We've had no word from my father for near a month. It seems to me his trail went sour near Cherryvale. As I stepped toward the table, a young man leapt past me and hopped into a chair. He was lanky and wild-eyed, with a face just a bit older than Kelly's, with a permanent grin.
Oh, another stray sister. Welcome, friend. You've come to the right place. Kelly talks to the dead, you know.
He chortled and bounced on the balls of his feet like a caged cat. Never quite still, that one. I offered him a hand, but he just laughed and stared.
I'm sorry. This is my brother, Jack Jr. Please pay him no mind. Now, Junior, hush.
I then held out a sketch of my father, glanced around the room, and I saw a shelf lined with traveling goods and a small clerk's counter. Now I beg your apologies for intruding on your family here. Seems you've got quite a fine little shop. My father was to pass through Cherryvale to sell a pocket watch to finance our home building and some final provisions as well. The watch is a family heirloom wrapped in blue handkerchief with some fine filigree on its face. Thought someone here might have seen him, or it.
A watch? I can't say I recall. We do get many travelers, though. Mama, do you remember someone like this?
Across the room, a sullen woman stirred a pot. She was stern, gray, and mighty unpleasant. She grumbled at Kelly and ignored me.
Stew done.
Now there was something about the way the air shifted. About the way Kelly's smile never quite reached her eyes. It put my nerves on edge. Now, well, I thank you all for your time, but I really should be getting back to the trail before dark. I stepped toward the door, but Kelly slid in front of me, hand on my shoulder.
Oh, no, please don't rush off. The spirits, they're urging you to stay. They say the road's not safe tonight, at least not without a fine meal first, and best you feel your belly. Mama made some fresh bread just this morning, and, well, the stew smells divine, doesn't it?
Now, she did have a point. The stew did smell rich.
It's good stew, sir. Sit.
I appreciate it, ma'am, but truly, I believe I should be going.
I must insist. Sit. You're offending the spirits otherwise. Besides, we haven't yet spoken of the spirits concerning your father. Please, just take your seat. It's only another moment as I get ready.
An honored guest.
Junior, hush. Put yourself to use and get our guest a bowl.
Obedient as a dog, Jack bounded to the hearth, returning with stew in hand.
Now please, just a few bites. Then if you truly must be going, well, at least your hunger will be satiated.
She guided me gently back toward the head of the table.
Now, really, ma'am, I don't wish to be any trouble. Y'all have a lovely place here, but I'd best be on my way.
Her eyes flashed.
Now I must insist. Have a seat.
Suddenly composing herself and straightening her dress amidst her brother's laughter, Kelly had a smile across her lips, but evil in her stare, only for a moment.
I suppose one small bowl won't hurt.
I did my level best to keep things civil, and hoped that if I just indulge in the stew, perhaps bygones will be bygones, and I'll be allowed to be gone.
I'm frightfully sorry for being so forceful, but the spirits are quite clear. I'm afraid it's much too dangerous for you to be leaving without a fine meal, and after all, I'm nearly ready to begin the speaking ritual.
Kelly began setting her items out in a very deliberate manner around her chair at the opposite side of the table. I put my spoon to my lips. Now she was quite right. The stew was delectable. Yeah, you're right, ma'am. This stew is quite good. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Now see, ain't that just delightful?
The sound of some heavy, lumbering boots
Stomping around behind the curtain stopped everyone in the room. My spoon paused halfway in my mouth. What's that?
Oh, Papa!
Don't worry yourself, that's just Papa. Must just be back from tending to the animals, you know. Now, tell me again, your family's back in Missouri, you said?
I stiffened.
Yes, miss. In fact, I'm to send a letter back home this very evening, but I do beg your pardon, ma'am. I come to realize I never did mention Missouri.
Oh, no. Of course you did. You must have. You said your father left from Missouri. That's how you found your way here.
No, I hadn't. I know I hadn't said it. I was very sure of it. I set my spoon down. My stomach turned.
Really, I do think it's best I be going now. Sun'll be gone soon.
Kelly stepped between me and the door, and a knife appeared in her hand so quick I wasn't sure where it came from.
It's not safe out there. Please, just finish your stew. A few more bites and the spirits will be satisfied. Why, my conscience just couldn't ever rest easy should the worst happen for you out there.
I bet Papa's almost
No,
ready.
I don't think I'm all that hungry anymore. The stew is quite hearty. In fact, thank you again, ma'am.
I rose. Kelly's smile dropped, and her eyes burned.
Sit down.
Those heavy steps started up again.
Now, really, I do thank you kindly for the stew. Quite lovely place you have here.
I hesitated. The second worst mistake of my life, aside from coming to this odd cabin in the first place. Then the world rang with a crack. Something struck me hard from behind. Stars burst in my vision and my knees gave way. I fell face first into the bowl. The stew was hot and slick against my cheek, and I tasted copper.
Damn it! You got blood on me again. Oh, and look at this. There's stew all over me.
Jack Jr. pushed his face right close to mine.
You should see your face. Oh, covered in stew.
I managed to catch my breathing and tried to look through the blurred vision at the chaos around me. Junior leapt about maniacally. Kelly brushed her face and her dress, trying to wipe my blood away.
Papa, look, you didn't hit him hard enough. He's still moving.
They argued, and they bickered like crows. I stumbled upright and lunged for the door.
Where are you going?
Junior tackled me. We crashed to the floor. I summoned any scrap of fight I could muster. I thrashed, teeth bared, and slammed my head backward into his face. He yowled and fell off of me. I jumped to my feet quick as I could manage and lunged at the door. Mercifully, it swung open. Cool air hit me. Freedom. I forced myself into a stumbling run. In no time, I nearly reached the edge of the adjacent forest. Dense trees ahead. Salvation.
Damn it, Junior! Papa! He getting away!
Despite the ringing in my ears and my vision being blurred, I persevered. My family, my fiancé, they drove me forward. I could nearly reach out and touch the trees. Only a few more steps before I could vanish into the thick wilderness. And then, crack! I crumpled. The pain split my skull like firewood once more. Darkness swallowed me and the world faded. As my vision blurred and narrowed to a pinpoint, Jack Jr. and Kelly stood over me.
Wonderful hits, Papa.
I felt the weight of Kelly straddle me, and then I felt a metallic sting of a blade in my throat.
Let's just make sure it gets done right.
A torturous but quick pain drew across my neck. I choked and gurgled on my own life-giving blood as it flowed down my throat. I prayed the pain would be gone soon and I would be greeted by my maker.
Junior, get him to the drain pit for someone else comes around.
Everything went black, but what seemed to me just a moment later I woke to motion, dull and scraping. Dirt. I was being dragged. My eyes barely open. I saw orchard branches pass above. The sky a canvas of deepening dust.
Jack Jr. was giggling, his arms hooked under mine. He stopped at a full, apple-rich tree. It would have been a beautiful sight, apples reflecting the coming moonlight in a different circumstance. There stood the man I assumed was Papa, a massive silhouette with a shovel. Behind him, the earth yawned open, a pit, deep and black.
He's still twitching, Papa.
Want one more vac? Nein, sticken in die Grube.
My breath came in ragged, wet gasps. I tried to speak, to beg, but blood gurgled in my throat. Jack Jr. rolled me over. I saw the sky once more. Then I dropped. The fall was short, but impact was foul. I landed in something soft and jagged, sticky and wet. There was the smell that hit me first, putrid, rot, and decay. Gasping and weeping, I started praying in my head. Against my better desires, I focused my eyes, and in the tunnel vision, I saw bodies. Stacked and slumped, arms twisted, faces caved in, men, women, even children. These people are monsters. I've truly encountered demons here on Earth. As I scanned all these poor souls around me, there was something among the pathetic mass that stole what remained of my breath away. A familiar coat, with a rotten hand clutching a blue handkerchief. Inside it, a pocket watch with elaborate filigree around the cover glinting in the dusky light. No mistaking it. There in this pit of misery and macabre malignancy was my father. I screamed, or I thought I did. Only a gurgle escaped. Tears poured from my eyes as I suddenly became privy to a terrible secret. A secret that I prayed my family would never come to know. I struggled and I clawed, but the bodies pressed against me, slick and bloated, and I had no fight left. Above I heard digging, as dirt rained down upon me in uncaring shovelfuls. The rot filled my lungs, my limbs spasmed, and then stilled. The last thing I saw before darkness swallowed me again was my father's face, empty, eyes eaten away, and the glint of that watch ticking no more. Somehow I gasped, like I'd been holding my breath for eternity. My chest ached, my thoughts stumbled in the dark. I know this place, but not why I'm here.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
I'm back in the chair. In that chair, the guest of honor chair. Kelly's cabin. It's almost completely dark. Just a few flickering candles light her face. But she's still smiling, still calm.
Ah. Oh, good. I see you can.
Rage flares inside me. I want to shout, to curse her, to move, but I can't. Her voice holds me like a chain.
No need for that at all. I feel your fury, but I won't have you cursing in this house. Silence suits you best anyway.
Her voice is like sugar and iron. Sweet, but cold and hard. My mouth stays frozen. My fists won't clench.
You know, I truly do feel bad. I promised my talents to help find your father before things got so messy, of course.
I burn with a white-hot intensity. My skin prickles, like something's crawling just beneath it. It was indeed fury.
Still, what's done is done, isn't it? Can't be changed. Even if we'd held your little seance earlier, it wouldn't have saved you. It really only would have delayed things.
A scream boils inside me, but never reaches my throat. She watches me like a mother amused by a child throwing a tantrum.
Oh, you're seething, aren't you? You angry with me,
Her sing-song tone curdles my blood.
I just want to make amends and prove my powers are genuine. Oh, and mind you, I did keep my word, you know. I helped you find your father, in the end. So I believe that promises, well, they're kept. I may be many things. Many things. But I'm not a fraud.
My heart lurched. My father. That pit. His broken body and mine beside his. Kelly's papa. Shoveling the earth over us both.
Oh, you poor thing. You're just now putting it together, aren't you?
Oh, no. No, she did perform a seance for me after all. No, not for me. A seance to summon me. She's blowing out her candles one by one now.
I'll send you back to the void in a moment. You know, your daddy's probably there too, somewhere. Though it is very vast, you won't be able to find him on your own. Unless I guide you, of course.
I try to struggle even now. There's nothing to move. I feel I'm unraveling. Like a sweater coming undone, a thread being pulled away.
Well, I must be off. More guests are coming, undoubtedly soon, and I do like to prepare properly.
Cabin dims further. My sense of self begins to smear across that dark like ink in water.
I hope you do know I feel so much better now. Apologies have been made, debt settled. I mean, thank you, truly.
She holds a final candle to her mouth. And all I want is one last embrace from my mother, from my father. Just to see the sun again.
Anyway, off you go. Enjoy your eternity.
Just to be...
The Bender family, also known as the Bloody Benders, consisting of John Bender Sr., the patriarch of the family. He was approximately 60 years old. He spoke little to no English, and what was spoken was often guttural and unintelligible. A quote describing the man: "A repulsive, hideous brute without a redeeming trait. Dirty, profane, and ill-tempered." Elmira Bender, often considered to have no recorded first name. She was approximately 55 years old. She spoke little English, and she was very unfriendly. So much so that neighbors called her she-devil. A quote describing her: "A dirty old Dutch crone." Kate Bender, the daughter of the family. She was approximately 23 years old. She spoke very fluent English with little to no German accent. She was attractive, socially competent, and a self-proclaimed healer and psychic. She distributed flyers boasting of her supernatural abilities and seances, and brought attention and notoriety to the Benders Inn. And finally there was Kate's brother, John Bender Jr., the less stable, truly obnoxious member of the family. He was approximately 25 years old, considered handsome. He spoke fluent English with a German accent. He laughed aimlessly to the point of most calling him a half-wit. A quote describing John Bender Jr.: "When excited, the grave-robbing hyena at once came to mind." It's often assumed that Kate and John Jr. were not truly siblings, but realistically husband and wife. The family had settled in Labette County, Kansas in the early 1870s near the Osage Trail. They established a small log home, a barn, and an orchard. Their tiny cabin was divided by an old canvas wagon cover. The larger
part of the home was used as a general store and an inn of sorts, serving weary travelers, while the incredibly small back portion was used as their living quarters. From the years 1871 to 1873, 11 victims had fallen prey to the Benders. The family worked together to commit their crimes, and their most common method of dispatching unfortunate passers-by was to seat them at the head of a dining table, near the room dividing canvas, and John Sr. or John Jr. would bash them with a hammer, followed by Elmira or Kate cutting the neck of the sad soul to finish the job. The bodies would then be buried in the gardens or the orchard. Oftentimes valuables would be taken off the corpses and sold in town, but on occasion the valuables would just be left and buried with the victims, perhaps indicating that the Benders would not always kill for monetary gain, but instead just for the thrill of the act. The Benders managed to escape capture when they discovered they had been found out. And while arrests had been made in the name of identifying the Benders under new or assumed aliases, evidence was never solid enough to correctly identify any of those suspects as the actual Benders. Thank you for listening to Dark Pages Unbound. Story, To Find My Father, written by Brandon McAleavey. Voices by Brandon McAleavey and Leia McAleavey. Sounds found on freesound.org. Story rights held by the story's author. Please contact Dark Pages Unbound for submissions or suggestions at darkpagesunbound@gmail.com.